Hi there, everybody. It's Sharon Seville here from First Executive Recruitment. Yesterday, I talked about social isolation, so I thought I'd followed it on today with a daily quick burst about how, as a manager or supervisor or team leader, you can manage your remote team effectively, especially when you aren't used to it. It's actually quite hard when you can't see what people are doing or help them if they have issues or praise them when they do a great job. So, when there's little time to prepare for managing a remote team, finding new ways to keep engagement and productivity up whilst ensuring that people are coping with the workload and the isolation is essential to the overall success of both you and your team. I think the issues that most face will be things like that lack of face-to-face supervision, the lack of access to pertinent information, the social isolation, and often the kind of inevitable distractions that you get at home. And however hard it is to adjust to remote working, there's still relatively simple things that a manager can do to ease that transition. Firstly, I would say it's important that you set up procedures quite early on in the process of moving to remote working so that all employees share the same set of expectations. Next, I think it's worth including things like setting clear goals and milestones for the team to work towards, so there's no ambiguity in terms of expectations. Setting up regular kind of check-ins throughout the day so that you can manage issues as well as progress. And you can do that either with a one-on-one call or on a group call where everyone's involved if the work's a bit more collaborative. I would say use more than one form of communication as well. Email and phone is okay, and both certainly have their place, but video is actually a much better way to keep your team connected when they're not used to operating remotely. Things like setting up a WhatsApp group or instant message service can be more effective with the kind of quick and the easy lines of communication and those little simple questions that you can get to. And I think the thing to remember is to let your team know when the best time is to catch you for those ad hoc kind of issues that do come up. That way you can manage their expectations effectively too. Of course, let them know if it's urgent, then they should text you in the first instance. I would say where you can as well, communicate with visuals as well as video and audio, and also encourage that communication with the rest of the team. People are visual learners. Sometimes it's very easy to get a visual rather than listening to what somebody's saying, so it's worth trying that. And don't forget as well about people's personal development whilst remote working. It can help to focus the mind on that longer term outcome when we really don't know what outcomes might be. And you may also, on that front, be able to allow some flexibility for a remote worker to structure the day a little differently. And that might be to encompass things like childcare or, dependents' needs. And this could take the pressure off a little and produce a better outcome, really, for all the parties. Which kind of brings me on to the most important aspect, really, and that's ensuring that you spend time on the human element. And by this I mean that social interaction that I was talking about yesterday. Bring informal conversations that are non-work related into the mix. And an easy way to do this really is to leave some time at the beginning of your team calls just for non-work stuff. You can kind of tell your team that you're going to spend the first few minutes just catching up with each other, just as you might do in the kitchen or round the water cooler at the office. And then ask how the weekend was to start the ball rolling. Simple things like that. You can even do, and I have heard of this happening, things like virtual pizza parties, which I'd be happy to partake in, by the way. And that's where pizzas are delivered to everyone at the same time, and you dive on a video call and catch up with what's going on. And I know that they might seem a little bit artificial maybe, but it has been proven to help reduce the feelings of isolation and promoting a sense of belonging with remote workers. And right now, this is key to remote working, actually working. And on a final note, if you are able to set boundaries early on and ensure the lines of regular communication are very much open and you're seen as accessible, your job of managing your remote team should be less difficult for everyone involved. Right, that's the end. Today's Daily Quick Burst for you guys. So I'll sign off again and I'll see you all tomorrow. And as usual, please stay well, stay safe, stay positive, and as I always say, please stay in. Thank you very much.